For ACUsports.com, I'm Grant Boone at a jubilant Moody Coliseum where ACU's women's basketball team has clinched the Southland Conference outright, 17-1 with a 63-52 victory over Texas A&M Corpus Christi in the regular season finale. We've got the two seniors, Webb and Whitney Swinford, and we've got head coach Julie Goodenough. Paris and Whitney, let me begin with you. This game was not easy. In fact, Paris, you went into the starting lineup against Corpus, down in Corpus, the first game after Lizzie Demba went out. And the games were somewhat similar, weren't they, with Corpus making you earn it?
I think every team, and it's a compliment, they wanted to give us their best shot. And, we just wanted to continue to play hard no matter the opponent. So.
Whitney, you had a couple of threes, 231 now for your ACU career. I know your husband, Tanner, keeps up with all of those numbers. And you needed almost every one of those. How did this team get it done today when Corpus wouldn't let up?
I think Alexis and Sydney, well, even Susie and Paris, everyone just really stepped up, and it was like everyone was sharing points. But Alexis and Sydney both hit really big shots at really good times. So I think that was major keys to our success.
Paris, let me ask you, and Whitney, you can chime in here as well. How hard was it to manage emotions this week? Because on Wednesday night you win, and everyone celebrates because you've clinched no worse than a share, and then the word begins trickling in, you're going to get to go to the WNIT. So on one hand, you want to celebrate, but on the other hand, you wanted to finish it off. How difficult was that?
I don't think it was difficult. We just, had to stay focused through it all, and we just wanted to approach every game, like I said, as if, just trying to get to the next step. So.
Whitney, was it hard to not celebrate too much? Because that was a huge accomplishment Wednesday, but you still had this, I know, that was on your mind.
I don't think it was hard because we didn't set the goal to be co-champions of the conference. We wanted to be the outright champions, and so I think that really helped us stay focused throughout this week.
I met you after a game your senior year when you were at Portland Gregory High School, and you'd come to look at ACU, and you're thinking, I may come here. And here you are now walking around that same concourse having played maybe, we don't know what's going to happen to the WNIT, but maybe your last home game after 4 years. You begin your career as the Lone Star Conference Freshman of the Year with a co-championship. Now you win it outright in a Division I conference, the Southland. Can you believe it's been 4 years?
I can't believe it's been 4 years. It still feels like it should be my freshman year, so it's just really surreal, everything that's happening to us right now.
All right, let's talk to your head coach here. Julie, you have trusted these seniors, haven't you, to lead this team?
Absolutely. Whitney and I, we've been through a lot together in these 4 seasons, and I know that I can count on her. And Paris is just, she's very committed to the program. She's very thoughtful, prayerful. She's been a great leader for our team on the court, in the locker room. And for these two to lead us to a perfect home record this season is just incredible. The team follows their lead. They, along with the 4 juniors, have just done an incredible job being leaders in the locker room and making sure that our team stayed focused on goals that we set 9 months ago.
Every coach has to manage a team when adversity strikes. You got adversity on Valentine's Day when Lizzie Demba went out with a season-ending injury. You inserted Paris Webb into the starting lineup, a couple of times tied her career high with 6 assists, set a career high with 7 rebounds. The numbers weren't as eye-popping because she plays a different position and she's called upon to do different things. But what did she mean in these last 6 games going unbeaten as a starter?
Well, the way that our team plays, the way we score, the way we play defense, it changed a lot without Lizzie on the court. It didn't change in a bad way, though. We implemented Paris at the point. We moved Whitney to a different position. Lex and Susie all moved to different positions, had to take on new roles, and they did that gladly and did that with I think just a persistence to say, hey, we know that this is adversity. It's going to be hard to overcome not having Lizzie, but we're going to find out what the new normal's like, and we're going to be the very best version of ourselves in the new normal. And Paris did a tremendous job. She pretty much stepped in and took all of Lizzie's minutes. And like you mentioned, she didn't take over Lizzie's stats. She created some stats that we didn't have. 5, 6, 7, 8 assists from a point guard, making big plays, big steal when we need it here and there, and picking up some big offensive rebounds when we needed them. And so she came in and really made a place for herself and just kept the ship on the right track.
Well, she's going to be a dentist, so she knows a thing or two about fillings, and she filled in beautifully for Lizzie Demba. Hey, 14-0, 14-0 at home. 17-1. 17 wins is the most wins by anyone in the regular season in the conference since 2003 in the Southland, and that was from a team that's not even in the conference anymore, UT San Antonio. When you think back of the 4 years of Whitney West Swinford, how is history going to remember her at ACU women's basketball?
Well, we have a sign in our locker room, and it says, "Those who stay will be champions," and that's how Whitney needs to be remembered. She made the choice to stick it out after we won the conference championship her freshman year when some players didn't want to stick around, and Whitney did, and she loves this program. She loves ACU. Every time she puts that ACU jersey on, you know she's going to give you her very best effort, and so I think her legacy is, hey, those who stay will be champions, and she is proof of that.
You go to the women's NIT. You'll find out Monday, March 14th. This is Saturday, March 5th. You do get some time for recovery. Have you even thought through what the next week to 9 days will be like?
Oh yeah, we've got it all laid out. The girls know what we're doing every single day. We've got practices in there, some recovery, some fun. So we know what we're going to be doing. We'll just be waiting and just excited to see what the WNIT does with us. On Monday night, it could be as late as 10 p.m. before we find out what's going on, but we're going to be set up in Gym C. We're going to have the big screen set up in there, and anybody that wants to join us in Gym C about 9:45 on Monday, March 14th, is welcome to come hang out with us. We'll probably have some snacks, some music playing until that bracket is revealed, but the WNIT is kind of at the mercy of the NCAA tournament. They've got to finish their selection, and then it moves on to the WNIT. So, 9:45, 10 o'clock on Monday, March 14th, we'd love to have our fans join us in Gym D of the Rec Center just to see that selection show and celebrate with us. And we want this to be something that our fans look forward to every year, waiting to see where we're going to be in a postseason tournament.
It's nice to end the season on a ladder, isn't it?
Oh my gosh, it really is. And there's not going to be very many teams who win their last game before they go to the WNIT.
True.
Because a lot of regular season champions, if they're in the WNIT, it's because they lost in their conference tournament. And so we get to be maybe one of the few that roll into the WNIT on a win streak.
Hey, grab that little memento down there on the floor. This is nice. Hey, they went in knowing they had no worse than a share, but no strings attached now. 17-1, the outright champs. And this is bringing new meaning to the term rings by spring. The Wildcat women's team gets their championship ring. They win the Southland Conference in just their second full season and third year in Division I. For Paris Webb and Whitney Swinford and Julie Goodenough, I'm Grant Boone for ACUSports.com.